Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, and I was dead wrong about the Stasis Titan subclass in Destiny 2 PvE. This thing absolutely slaps, and I've been sleeping on it for far too long. Now, this whole build revolves around stasis crystals. I'm generating them, I'm staying near them. Everything I do has to deal with these stasis crystals. So for that reason, I'm rocking the brand new Verglass Curve combat bow. This thing is from the Season of Defiance Battle Pass, and it absolutely slaps. It's so much fun. The trait that I really care about is Hailstorm. Stasis arrows freeze targets on contact and create stasis crystals when affecting the environment. Works out very well. Again, stasis crystals are great, and the more I can generate, the better, especially if my abilities are on cooldown. I'm also rocking the Hoarfrost Z chest armor for the Titan, and this exotic replaces my barricade with a wall of stasis crystals. Again, I want them up as much as possible, and I'm going to explain why in a little bit. As far as my abilities for the subclass, I'm rocking out Glacier Grenade because of, again, generating stasis crystals as much as possible. Then we've got Diamond Lance. I just really love this, and you can shatter enemies really easily with the Diamond Lance. I can't wait to get the new Titan exotic for stasis that improves the Diamond Lance, because I'm going to try that out for sure, but I just haven't gotten it yet. And then we've got Tectonic Harvest. Shattering stasis crystal creates a stasis shard. This is massive. So the fragments I'm using are Whisper of Torment. Now, this one is interchangeable. I like this one to get my grenade back faster, but you could use Whisper of Bonds to defeat frozen targets and grant super energy, or Whisper of Shards to temporarily boost your grenade recharge rate right there. But I already have max resilience without it, and I don't really need that, so that's why I'm rocking Whisper of Torment as well, because I feel like I take damage all the time to generate grenade energy as often as possible. Whisper of Fissures increases damage inside the burst of stasis crystals, or when you destroy a crystal or defeat a frozen target. Then we've got Whisper of Rhyme, collecting the shard, grants small overshield, which falls off after 10 seconds. Collecting additional shards adds to the overshield, so I'm trying to generate as many of those shards as possible. We've also got the Whisper of Conduction, so nearby stasis shards track to my position, as well as Whisper of Chains. When you're near a frozen targets or a friendly stasis crystal, you take reduced damage from targets. Overshields, reduced damage, all that really comes into play in content where you need to stay alive, and it comes in handy all the time. I absolutely love it, and I think it allows my survivability. You see in the gameplay, there are times when my whole team, my other two randoms in this event, they wipe, they're dead. I have to go save them, and I'm able to stay alive using this class because of the overshield, the reduced damage I've taken, all that kind of good stuff. So survivability is the key, especially if you're playing with people you don't normally play with, or you're taking on content that's a little bit more difficult. The other weapons I'm using are the Ikelos shotgun. I'm only using this to level it up. To be honest, I don't really need it, especially for this build or this content, but I am rocking it because it is fun to use. And then Quillam's Terminus. So this is a stasis surge activity, which means I'm going to be doing more damage with stasis, and that's why I tossed on this machine gun, because I do very much enjoy it, and especially when you're fighting that big servitor, it comes in very handy. It's easier to use than something like a grenade launcher, so that's why I rock the machine gun personally, and I really like this one, and I don't feel like I get to use it often enough, so that's why I'm running it. It also helps out that I am rocking Stasis holster, harmonic holster actually, and this allows me to get my machine gun reloaded at all times. I'll toss on a different weapon, shoot it a little bit, and then when I go back to my machine gun, I will have it fully reloaded. So that's very, very nice. And I think the harmonic mods are vital for builds with the new changes to mods in Lightfall, and that's why I'm rocking them as often as possible, and I try to stick with like for like subclasses, at least across two of my weapons, if not all three. The rest of my mods that I'm using are Stasis Siphon, Harmonic Siphon, Font of Wisdom, Heavy Ammo Finder. I've got Impact Induction, Heavy Handed, Melee Kickstart. I've got Sniper Damage Resist. You could use any damage resist there, it doesn't matter. Emergency Reinforcement and Stasis Reserves. Then we've got, again, Harmonic Holster, Absolutions, and Harmonic Scavenger. And then we've got Distribution is very good for this because it reduces all ability cooldowns when using your class ability near targets. I like to slide into the midst of enemies and then pop my barricade, freeze everything, and then just go to town. So that works out very, very well. And then utility kickstart and bomber on that as well. So your goal for this build is going to be tossing in your stasis crystals with either your bow or your grenade, and then following it up by popping your barricade near some enemies and tagging them up with your Verglass Curve, and then generating more stasis crystals and continuing that on a loop. You're going to find out that there are a couple really good benefits to this build. One, champions, tormentors, wyverns, all these enemies that are very frustrating to deal with at times, or can be, are almost obsolete when you're able to freeze them all the time. The tormentors not so much, but especially the other ones, you can slow and freeze them constantly. There are times where I don't even need to stun champions, even though I'm rocking my overload bow, even though I have my unstoppable shatter abilities that I can use. It's not really even necessary because they're just frozen. I can take on barrier champions at the same time with no anti-barrier weapons, and it doesn't matter because I'm freezing them all the time, and I'll be able to definitely take them down while they are frozen, which is very, very nice and makes the game, it slows everything down in the game just a little bit, which if you're a player who wants to kind of take your time, works out very well. Now, I play a little bit more aggressive with this build, but either way, you can rock it out however you want to, and it'll work out either way. So, with the changes to the unstoppable champions as well, now that I can shatter them and stun them as well, you're going to see me stun them with my barricade, with a grenade. No matter what it is, you can use that to stun them, and it just is very, very nice change. I love that quality of life adjustment that we have gotten, because I feel like it makes a lot of the builds just that much more versatile when dealing with champions. I don't have to rock multiple weapons to take on champions. And with Strand and with Stasis, I feel like you almost don't even need to stun them at all at times, which is even better. So, overall, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the build, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, helps me out tremendously. Shows you want to see more Destiny 2 content from me. I have so many builds that I want to try, and I'm going to be throwing all of them up on this channel. If you want to check them out, definitely stay tuned for all of that. My name is Jopa. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.
Cleared and route to the city. Good work, Guardian.
The list of people that owe you their lives.